Hello YouTube, I'm back on the channel. It's been quite a while, probably close to a month since the last video. That really wasn't done by intention, but I just haven't had any boxes that have come in, no pickups. That probably will change over the next couple of weeks. I probably will send in for my ship my card stuff. Bunch of eBay lots and a couple of things, new additions to the collection that'll be forthcoming. But again, no boxes, so no box breaks that I was able to talk about. And no real news, at least on the AEW side. One thing that I was thinking about kind of a little bit separately though, is that this channel mainly focuses on the cards, but one thing that I want to do is probably with the upcoming pay-per-view here on Sunday, I'll probably go through the card a little bit and talk about my thoughts, kind of a predictions thing, and also my cross my fingers hopes, because there's what I think is going to happen, what I would prefer to have happen, and I'll go over that. I'm not going to do it all the time and not for every case, but this pay-per-view I think has got a couple of crossroad moments where if you go in a certain direction, I think it offers certain opportunities, but if you go in others, then it's going to be kind of following what's been happening with a lot of the AEW television. Just at a high level, just to cover it, I do watch the shows, and for the most part, I've actually enjoyed them. There's tons of flaws in them. There's tons of mistakes and things that are made, but right now, I could honestly probably say that for both companies. For both AEW and WWE, there's a lot of those shows that are completely missable. And a lot of the segments and a lot of the storylines that they're trying, and they're just not going anywhere. They're not hitting anything. I won't go into any detail on that because, like I said, I don't want to get into a separate type of video here. I'm going to focus mainly on the cards. But bottom line, I'd like to do a little predictions video with some of the things I'd like to see. So I'll talk about that, and that'll probably be a video probably before the end of the weekend and definitely before the pay-per-view. But for this one, I want to talk about specifically what's on the screen right now, and that is 2024 AEW Black Diamond has reached ePack, which is fine. Obviously, there are going to be some achievements and things related to that, and we'll take a look at that in a second. We'll do a quick, brief overview. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it because it's a very specific genre of individual that does a lot of the ePack stuff, although there are some really cool cards that could be a lot of fun to have if you're a collector of different characters that you enjoy picking up. And I'll definitely take a look and see if I can find any Britt Baker cards in there that are of interest. We're going to see. Like, it's obviously there's been a lot of change in a lot of these checklists, but there is still a lot of stuff. Now, the reason this is significant, the reason I think this is important, and I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about it, is this price point here. We're looking at $349.99 per pack. So pack is a box in this case, 6 cards per pack. And this is kind of problematic, and I'll tell you why. A lot of the concerns that I had about the price point and the value proposition of Black Diamond haven't really gone away. But in reality, what we're looking at here is we're looking at a price point that the market currently doesn't hold anymore. I actually thought it was overpriced to begin with, and I talked about it when I discussed the product initially. But obviously, as time has gone by, the physical boxes have slowly gone down in price. And that's helped because it means, yeah, it's still probably too expensive, but less so. And right now, what's problematic is that with ePack, and this is something that Upper Deck has been doing for a long time, is that they try not to undercut their own retailers. Well, the issue is that we've had a little bit of a delay between when Black Diamond originally came out and right now. So the result is the product is stale. It's kind of cold. There's still some singles that some of us are out there looking for, myself included, and that's fine. So we're still going to have some interest because there's some stuff we're going to be looking for to pick up. And usually when ePack shows up, some of the stuff gets broken, and in turn, some of those whales that end up breaking cases of the stuff make some of these singles available. Therefore, some of the tough stuff that we haven't been able to locate so far, they tend to show up after ePack. But the problem is, if you start off the price point so high, the question is, I guess, how many of these whales want to play this game when the regular cards are the same? You know, you have to go through the extra step of getting it to ComC or having it shipped off to yourself. And that's all fine. But at the same time, it brings to the question, are the achievements going to be enough to make it enticing for somebody to basically pay a premium? Because that's where we're at right now. So right now you're looking at $349.99 USD. So I'm talking US dollars. I'm based out of Canada, but I'm going to keep it all in USD here. So we're looking at that price point. And then I'm going to move one tab over here. And here is Steel City Collectibles. Obviously, you can find other different places that may have these boxes available, but this is for the physical box, and you can buy this right now. It is in stock. It is available. So it shows the Canadian price because of where I'm at, but right here, approximately $199.95. So $200 US. Let's just call it 200 flat. So that means if I'm based out of the United States, right now, I can buy this box from Steel City Collectibles and have it shipped to myself for 200 US. Or I could go into ePack and be looking at an extra $150. $150 for nothing different. The actual contents of the product are exactly the same. And to get the achievements, you're probably not going to be opening 1 or 2 boxes to get that. You need to be pulling a bunch of different things and completing and trading and doing all these things in order to complete it. But briefly, we'll just go into it for a second here. Let's take a quick peek and see what we've got. What are the exclusives? What are we looking at as far as achievements are concerned? So let's click on that and take a closer look. Now I'm crossing my fingers here for their sake because I'm hoping these are at least cool looking cards. So let's see, we've got 10 achievements that we can get. So that's Probably all right, given the price point of this product. All right, I edited out a lot of that delay there. It was a bit slow. So here it says Auto Achievement Set, AEW Legends. So you got John Moxley, first 25 collectors to complete a base set. So that's probably fairly achievable. Okay, so that's some pretty good looking cards. So here we got John Moxley. I actually like that. That looks pretty nice. A Mariah May, that's a pretty nice card there that somebody could get. And then AEW Legends Black Diamond Achievements. So that's pretty nice. All right, now scrolling ahead here, Auto Achievement Set Tier 2 and AEW Legends Achievement. So here it is. This is one of the things I was looking for. I was curious if we'd get something like this. So the first 25 collectors to redeem a complete exquisite collection. That's a little tougher. So the first of those will get a Britt Baker. So, and you can see some other examples of some of the other achievements you can get here. Timeless Tony Storm, that one looks all right. The Samoa Joe, that's pretty cool. And then we got this Legends Britt Baker card. All right, so that's one of the ones that I'll probably be chasing after. That'll be probably a little bit tough because that achievement looks like it's kind of a tough one to pull off. And it's only the first 25 collectors, so we'll see how that one plays out. So here you got achievements number 2, Britt Baker, redeem an exquisite collection set. And then there you go. You can get that same card, so you get a chance at that as well. We got one for Kenny Omega from the Legends. We've got a Chris Jericho here. Looks good. Design-wise, it's fine. I think it works. Mr. Brody Lee. Okay. So you got a Legends Brody Lee. That's cool. All right. So AEW Award Auto Achievement Tier 3. So we got that the first 10 collectors to redeem a complete AEW Legends Achievement set. So if you get those 5 AEW Legends Achievements, then you're able to redeem it for this. So now we're looking Kenny Omega MJF with this design. I think these award autographs are actually going to be pretty cool for people chasing those down. Next up here, we got a 3-card AEW event logo patches Holiday Bash Achievement Set. See, I'm not liking this event logo patches thing already. Already, I'm not a fan. But if you redeem an AEW event logo patches set of 60 cards, then you can get that. And we're looking at here, it's basically just the patch, but it's Holiday Bash. We already know that these AEW event logo patches did not go over well with this product. So even in achievement form, these ones are probably ones that when you see it on ComC, you're probably going to be able to pick them up pretty darn cheap when somebody gets them. And I don't see what incentive it is, I guess, outside of somebody who's bought cases of it, that you're really going to be that excited to go after one of these. But regardless, that's another achievement that you can go after. And last one here is the Patches Wrestle Dream Achievement. First 25 collectors to redeem a complete AEW event logo patches, all in vertical. This is all a mouthful already. And AEW event logo patches Forbidden Door sets. So if you do all that, then you can have this last achievement here. So an MJF Wrestle Dream autograph logo patch. Cool card. I'll give it that. But at the end of the day, we're still talking about a manufactured patch, with a sticker auto. A cool one, I will say. Like, the Wrestle Dream has got a nice logo to it, and that's fine. But they've made way too much hay out of these event logo patches. So I'm going to be straight with you on this. When it comes to these products, I try to be as honest as is possible. This is a rough set of achievements. I think there are some cool things in it and some possibilities, like I said here. I think these award autographs, I think they are very cool. I actually think these are very nice. The Legends cards, I think, are pretty solid. Like I said, for me personally, the Britt Baker one is probably the only thing I'm going to be looking for. So this AEW Legends kind of card here, the Black Diamond one. So that'll be a cool chase for me to go after and to try to find these. Looks like I've got at least a decent amount of them, so that's nice. But overall, I will say, kind of underwhelming on these achievements. And then combined with the expensive price on these. So this is kind of my question that I have out into the ether that I kind of would put towards Upper Deck. I get the idea that you want to protect your different distributors and also the LCSs that get this product. I guess my question would be, what LCS out there is anywhere near this price point at this point in time? Because if they have been having there for the manufactured suggested retail, kind of the starting point for a lot of these in different places, I find it hard to believe that anybody is at 350 or above still at this point. And if they're still holding those boxes, they probably are collecting dust by this stage. I'd be very confident that the majority of them, if they're not sitting on a bunch of inventory, have probably already price reduced this. So already this is probably on the high end of just about anybody. Again, I just use Steel City Collectibles as an example, but you can literally get the physical boxes for $150 less per box. That's enough where, you can get 2 of these and you're only $50 higher than this price point. And these achievements require opening a ton of boxes. You're talking about by the case. The case is $1,720 basically. That's USD. So for somebody like me, you got to add in currency conversion and all the rest of it. Like, I wouldn't even look at it from my perspective. Truthfully, in a lot of places, you can get it close to 200, 250 Canadian. So you can translate that into American dollars and you'll see that it's a lot cheaper than even what Steel City is doing. So I guess it's a tough one. I can say it's a tough one. I'm glad that the ePack is out there. I cross my fingers that some of these whales are a glutton for punishment and really want those achievements, because that's going to be a way to get some more of these tougher cards out into the marketplace, because we just haven't seen enough of it. But I feel like a lot of that comes down to not enough of the physical boxes getting opened. And that's because even at the reduced price point, it still doesn't feel like a value. I like a lot of the cards. I like a lot of the exquisite and some of the stuff that's included in it. But that set just never took off. And at the higher price point, I wasn't surprised. It really comes down to things we talked about on this channel. But anyway, so those are some high-level thoughts. I'll leave a link in the description to the ePack store if you are curious and you want to take a closer look at the odds or anything else, the description. All the info is here and all the odds. Everything kind of follows through with what was in the original, the physical boxes. So if you've seen that, you've seen it. I did a couple of box breaks for it on this channel. I had very bad luck with the Black Diamond box, if I'm just being honest. So I definitely wouldn't want to do the digital version of it, personally. But then on top of it, it's also more expensive. So I'm going to stay far, far away from this one. But I will be looking on with curiosity, and I'll be definitely checking into the marketplace. And I'm hoping that some other folks do end up buying a bunch of these and pull some of the cards that I want that are still remaining for me to track down. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this little summary. I'm glad to be back on the channel. I'm going to try to come up with some other things that I want to do. As I said, I'd like to do a little prediction video for the pay-per-view coming up this weekend. So that'd be kind of fun, a little side thing. Don't expect it all the time, but it's something I want to do for this particular show because there's some interesting matches in it that I'm into. And beyond that, I'll probably just expand from the cards perspective. I'll expand the horizons a little bit. We'll keep an eye a little bit on what Fanatics is going to be doing with some of the WWE license. So we'll kind of make it more broadly talking about wrestling trading cards in general, because I would like to have that open-ended and have that option. And then from time to time, I'll check in on AEW because that's the product I'm mostly watching on TV anyway. But regardless, it'll just be here and there sprinkled in, but mostly regarding the wrestling cards is where the main focus of the channel is going to remain. That said, that's it for this one. More videos will come up on the channel here. We're going to have it at different cadences. I won't commit to a specific schedule, but I'll try to get some more videos out there. I'm not trying to have too many large gaps, but in this case, just necessity brought it about. So we're going to try to have some more videos coming up here into the summertime. Aside from that, appreciate any comments or thoughts that you might have. Like if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much, and we'll catch you in the next one.